In 2014, a single company processed nearly 900,000 blood tests in just 1 year. Each result arrived at patients' homes as absolute truth. Cancer diagnoses, diabetes warnings, HIV results, all generated by a machine that, according to its own laboratory director, never worked as it should. Not partially, from the very beginning. The company's name was Theranos, and the woman who promised to revolutionize medicine was Elizabeth Holmes. She was 19 when she dropped out of Stanford. Not because she lacked ability, but because she believed she had built something too important to wait. The idea sounded simple and powerful. What if a single drop of blood from a finger prick could detect hundreds of diseases? No long needles, no multiple vials, no days of waiting. Affordable enough for anyone. The promise captivated the world. In 2010, 7 years after it was founded, Theranos was valued at $1 billion. In 2014, $9 billion. Holmes appeared on the covers of magazines like Fortune and Forbes. She wore black turtlenecks and was compared to Steve Jobs. She didn't deny it. High-profile investors poured in money. Rupert Murdoch, the Walton family, founders of Walmart, Larry Ellison, founder of Oracle. In total, $945 million were invested in the company. All of them believed they were funding the future of healthcare. But there was one detail no outsider knew. The machine didn't work. The device, called Edison, was supposed to run hundreds of tests using just a few drops of blood collected in a small container. The problem was that the company's own engineers couldn't make it reliable. To maintain the illusion, Theranos used conventional machines purchased from competitors, such as Siemens, to conduct most of the tests, and concealed that fact from patients, from doctors, from investors, from Walgreens, which installed Theranos testing centers in more than 40 stores, from Safeway, which spent $350 million building testing centers that never worked as promised. Inside the company, some people knew. Tyler Schultz was one of them, the grandson of former Secretary of State George Schultz, who sat on Theranos' board. He joined the company in 2013, full of enthusiasm. Soon, he began to realize that data was being manipulated, that results were inconsistent, that something was seriously wrong. He tried to address it internally. He was ignored, intimidated, threatened with lawsuits. In 2015, he contacted a reporter from the Wall Street Journal, John Carreyrou. The investigation was published in October. It revealed that the devices were used in only a small fraction of the tests, and even then they produced unreliable results. Holmes denied everything. She claimed there were thousands of pages proving the company was right. It didn't work. In 2016, Theranos was forced to void 2 full years of test results, 2014 and 2015. Tens of thousands of reports were invalidated. People who had made medical decisions based on those results were left unsure of what was real. One woman received a miscarriage diagnosis that had never occurred. Tests showed impossible results. Doctors reported confusion and anguish. The laboratory director, Dr. King-Shuk Das, concluded there had been serious and prolonged failures in quality control, that virtually every test could have been affected. When he reported this to Holmes, she offered alternative explanations. In September 2018, Theranos was officially dissolved. In January 2022, after more than 50 hours of deliberation, Elizabeth Holmes was found guilty of wire fraud and conspiracy. In November, she was sentenced to 11 years and 3 months in prison. In February 2025, the sentence was upheld on appeal. She is serving her sentence in a minimum security prison in Texas. What makes this case different is not just the money involved. It's what was being sold. It wasn't a typical product. It was health. It was diagnosis. It was the information that determines whether someone needs urgent treatment, whether a pregnancy is at risk, whether a life is in danger. For years, that information was generated by a machine that didn't work. The question is not only how Elizabeth Holmes deceived so many people. Ambition and deception exist in business. The real question is why so many wanted to believe. Perhaps because the promise was too perfect. And when a story sounds too perfect, almost no one wants to be the first to doubt it.